This video will talk about creating your first document and actually putting content in it. It's a continuation from the last video, but we're going to start with no files in here. So I will start by selecting File, New, and I'm going to choose blank HTML, HTML5, and Create. Now I'm going to pretend this is my home page. Remember, your home page has a very specific file name. Now I'm doing drop down menus, but of course you can do Control S, Command S, and that's what I usually do as I'm working. It helps for you to see what I'm doing when I show menus in the movies, but Control S or Command S is your shortcut key, and it's just like Microsoft Word or anything like that. So here, my home page needs to be named index.html, and I'm going to click Save. And then we are going to first do something up here called titling the document. The title of your document has nothing to do necessarily. It actually should connect in some way, but it is not your file name. The title is not the file name. Please note, the title right now says Untitled Document. Down here, that file is index.html. So they are not the same. Now they might be related in that index.html stands for my home page, so I might call this Welcome to the Home of Awesome Dog Leashes. So I'm mentioning that it's the home page in there, but your title is typically a sentence or a chain of keywords, key phrases to tell the user where they are, to tell the search engine what the page is about. The title is a very important attribute, and that's not an attribute, it's an important tag to put into your document. And you can see it, it's actually right here, title. There it is, it's an element within your site and within the head section of your document. We'll talk about what all that means later. And now in Dreamweaver, if I would like to, I can start typing. And then when I press enter, I get another paragraph. If I would like to see Dreamweaver create my code at the same time that I type, I can work in split view in vertical format, which we talked about in a previous video, and I will create my third paragraph. And you see it automatically puts these paragraph tags around that text. So Dreamweaver, like I mentioned before, is always writing code in the background. To see what my page would look like in a browser, we're going to click the little globe that's up here and choose Firefox or Internet Explorer or whatever browser shows up, though I'm going to stick with Firefox most of the time. And since I have this little star right here by my file name, it shows, it's telling me with that little star, hey, you've not saved your document since you last made changes. So in order to preview it in the browser like we just requested, Dreamweaver says, hey, if you want to see the most recent thing, we need to save this document, so may I save the changes? And you say yes. And then down in my browser is open in my taskbar, and you can't see that. So it didn't open the browser for me because it was already open. So I had to go down to my taskbar and get that, click on it. And now look what we see. This is the title we typed in, Welcome to the Home of Awesome Dog Leashes. So that's where your title shows up. So it works like a bookmark. It also shows up in search engine results. And then here are my 3 paragraphs. Okay, now if maybe I don't want a paragraph for some reason, maybe I just want a line return, which isn't very often. So maybe instead of this being all on one line, and I'm saying this, you do not want to use this as a way to control things visually normally. You don't. It's not semantically correct. Once in a while you might find you need a line break. More than anything, I'm showing you that you can create a line break so you know what's going on when it happens. I don't use line breaks very often. So they're there. We used to use them a lot more before we had CSS. So I've got my cursor in between my and third, the words my and third, and all I need to do on a PC is press Shift Enter. On a Mac, I think it's going to be Shift Return. Now, if you'll notice right here in code view, it shows a BR. That stands for line break. And so you'll notice here that things are closer together than the breaks between the paragraph. And it will show up that way in the browser too. You must have paragraphs tags at least in order to designate that something is a paragraph or divided off somehow. So over here, if I now type in code view, here's another paragraph, and here's the last paragraph. Okay, so over in code view, it looks like they're on separate lines. When I go over to design view, look what happens. It's all on one line. The browser doesn't know what this is. It's just text sitting there. And when I preview in browser, look, it's all one line. So you absolutely have to put in paragraphs, and right now, especially when you're not used to hand coding, the easiest way is just to hit or press enter or press return depending on the computer you're on. And I'll go ahead and capitalize a couple things here and put in that period that I just deleted, and I'll save my document with Control S or Command S, and there we go. So we have that line break, and then we have all these paragraphs. Now we're going to create another page, and normally when we create another page we would name it something a lot more meaningful than what I'm going to name it, but I want you just to see the process of creating another page and linking things. So blank HTML page, and we're going to choose HTML5 and click create, and then Command S, Control S, or File Save to save the document. And now I'm going to name it second page. You will not name your documents second page, third page. You will name them something meaningful about the greatest leashes on the planet. Something, and well, and as a file name it'll be about leashes maybe .htm, and then your title will have the meaningful thing in it. So for right now this is just for demo, so I don't want to see second page, third page, fourth page as your file names, and your titles should be meaningful as well. This is my second web page. And then I'm going to put in, here is text that links back to the first page. Click here to go to Amazon.com. This page will open in a new tab. Okay, so to create a link, the first page, or the first thing I'm going to do is link to my home page. Remember, my home page is named index.html. So I'm just going to go ahead and select all this text this time. I could just select one word. So to make a link, you have to select the thing that's going to be the link if we're going to do it with the WYSIWYG. There's another way to do it if I want to hand code it, but we're going to work on WYSIWYG stuff at the beginning of the semester. So I know I'm in secondpage.htm. I've got my text that's going to link to my first page, and now I'm going to choose, oh wow, I'm doing that really fast, aren't I? I'm going to go down here in my Properties Inspector and see where it says link. I could type in my page name, which is going to most likely cause you errors. I might be able to choose it from here, but that's not the correct one. That's a different project entirely. I could click on this little folder right here and choose index.htm this way, or in this case, to me, what you saw me do at the speed of light a moment ago is just click this little target and point to my home page, and when it's highlighted, see, highlighted, let go, and now it created a hyperlink. Now there's all sorts of code in here, we'll talk about the code later, that makes it a hyperlink. Right now you just need to know I made a hyperlink, and that's how you're going to do that. And that goes back to the home page. Now with this text, I'm going to just do the click here part and make it a hyperlink, and this time I want to go to Amazon.com. So I'm going to open up Firefox. Anytime you want to go somewhere, how about you actually go there on the web and then select the whole address, this way you don't mistype it. Now if I wanted to go right here to this particular product, then well, they probably have a share icon here, but we'll pretend this is the only way to get the URL. I'm going to choose this whole hyperlink and copy it. Rather than trying to type out a specific page, go to the page on the web and copy the address like so. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that now. I've got the address copied. I'm going down to link and I'm going to paste. And then I'm going to do something different because I want it to open in a new tab. This is only good, or well, you can do it when you're linking within your site, but you really only want to do this normally when you're linking to somewhere outside of your site, like Amazon. You will choose from Target, you will choose blank, and something I didn't tell you to do in the first one, but you should always do it, is describe your link. This goes to Amazon.com, where you can get cool dog leashes. Not that someone's going to read that, but they could. And then up here, if I forget my title, that's titling, that's telling the browser and readers what the link will take them to, I realize, oh, I forgot to do that. So I can double click up here, or I can single click and then go right here to the A in my tag inspector, and now I see the whole thing's highlighted. I can see that in code and in design view, and now I can go to my title here and say this links to the first page. And then I'm going to go back to my home page and I'm going to start another link. This links to my second page. It only makes sense. If you have a link to the first page, you should have a link to your second page. Again, I'm going to go down to where it says link and click on the little target, hold it down and drag it over to second page.html and then describe my link. Link to second page and press enter. And then remember to save everything. File, save all is one way to do it. Preview in Firefox, and you know you're doing good when this links to my second page. This is my second page. Click here to go to Amazon. It links and opens up in a new tab. This goes back to my first page. Ta-da! We did it.